What if I told you that one of the most inspiring stories of leadership and faithfulness in the Bible is also a warning about how quickly everything can fall apart? Many people read 2 Kings 12 and see a simple tale of temple repairs, but beneath the surface, it's a powerful lesson about godly influence, stewardship, and the consequences of losing sight of what truly matters. You might think, well, I'm not a king, so what's this got to do with me? But hold on, this story shakes up the idea that starting strong is enough. In fact, Joash's journey shows us the secret to lasting success isn't just good beginnings, it's ongoing faithfulness and wise mentorship. And here's the kicker, the tools to apply this in your own life, whether it's managing your finances, relationships, or personal growth, are closer than you think. Ready to discover how a young king's story can transform your approach to leadership and life? Let's dive in. Then, let's read the chapter together. In the 7th year of Jehu, Joash became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem 40 years. His mother's name was Zibiah, she was from Beersheba. Joash did what was right in the eyes of the Lord all the years Jehoiada the priest instructed him. The high places, however, were not removed. The people continued to offer sacrifices and burn incense there. Joash said to the priests, "Collect all the money that is brought as sacred offerings to the temple of the Lord, the money collected in the census, the money received from personal vows, and the money brought voluntarily to the temple. Let every priest receive the money from one of the treasurers, then use it to repair whatever damage is found in the temple." But by the 23rd year of King Joash, the priests still had not repaired the temple. Therefore King Joash summoned Jehoiada the priest and the other priests and asked them, "Why aren't you repairing the damage done to the temple? Take no more money from your treasurers, but hand it over for repairing the temple." The priests agreed that they would not collect any more money from the people and that they would not repair the temple themselves. Jehoiada the priest took a chest and bored a hole in its lid. He placed it beside the altar, on the right side as one enters the temple of the Lord. The priests who guarded the entrance put into the chest all the money that was brought to the temple of the Lord. Whenever they saw that there was a large amount of money in the chest, the royal secretary and the high priest came, counted the money that had been brought into the temple of the Lord and put it into bags. When the amount had been determined, they gave the money to the men appointed to supervise the work on the temple. With it they paid those who worked on the temple of the Lord, the carpenters and builders, the masons and stonecutters. They purchased timber and blocks of dressed stone for the repair of the temple of the Lord, and met all the other expenses of restoring the temple. The money brought into the temple was not spent for making silver basins, wick trimmers, sprinkling bowls, trumpets, or any other articles of gold or silver for the temple of the Lord. It was paid to the workers, who used it to repair the temple. They did not require an accounting from those to whom they gave the money to pay the workers, because they acted with complete honesty. The money from the guilt offerings and sin offerings was not brought into the temple of the Lord, it belonged to the priests. About this time Hazael king of Aram went up and attacked Gath and captured it. Then he turned to attack Jerusalem. But Joash king of Judah took all the sacred objects dedicated by his predecessors, Jehoshaphat, Jehoram, and Ahaziah, the kings of Judah, and the gifts he himself had dedicated, and all the gold found in the treasuries of the temple of the Lord and of the royal palace, and he sent them to Hazael king of Aram, who then withdrew from Jerusalem. As for the other events of the reign of Joash, and all he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Judah? His officials conspired against him and assassinated him at Beth Millo, on the road down to Silla. The officials who murdered him were Jozabad son of Shimeth and Jehozabad son of Shomer. He died and was buried with his ancestors in the city of David. And Amaziah his son succeeded him as king. Let's say a quick prayer to thank the Lord for his mercy. Hey God, thanks so much for walking with me through this story of Joash. I'm really grateful for the lessons you've shown me about leadership, faithfulness, and staying grounded even when things get tough. Help me to take what I've learned and actually live it out every day, whether it's in how I manage my time, handle my responsibilities, or keep my heart focused on what matters. Please guide me, keep me humble, and remind me to lean on you and the right people around me. I trust you to help me stay faithful and strong. Amen. Now that you've journeyed through Josh's story, it's time to ask yourself, who is guiding your steps right now? Are you surrounded by mentors and influences that push you to grow, or are you drifting without direction? Maybe it's time to take control like Josh did with those temple funds. Set up your own system of accountability, whether it's in your finances, your faith, or your daily habits. What would happen if you took just one practical step today, like joining a Bible study, finding a mentor, or even reading a book like Think and Grow Rich to sharpen your mindset? The real question is, will you let your story follow Josh's early path of faithfulness or his later spiral? The power to choose is in your hands. If you found this breakdown of 2 Kings 12 inspiring, imagine what else you could learn by sticking around. So, why not subscribe and turn on notifications? You'll be the first to get fresh insights that can help you repair what's broken, whether it's in your spirit, your goals, or your leadership skills. Don't let your life be a story of missed opportunities. Let's keep learning, growing, and building together. What step will you take after this? Share it below. I want to hear your thoughts. And, as always, don't forget to check the last video and learn more about the scriptures.